And a very good afternoon to you, and as the summer officially begins, the season of change in TRL comes to a close. It's a bit more important than it usually is, and it comes around once a year. We've got a new game, new drivers, all new LiDAR scan tracks, and a power vacuum to be filled as someone new looks to fill the void of Finnish domination that has conquered TRL for over a year. Live for the first time, and I'm very, very happy to say this, in F1 25. This is round 1 of Season 6 of Turbo Racing League, live from the Albert Park circuit in Australia. And afternoon everyone, welcome along to the TRL pre-race show brought to you by Energy. Use code TRL whenever you purchase from them for a discount which helps us massively. I'm Mr. Storm, joined by a trifecta of TRL legends in their own right. We've got Titan, who's been here since the very start, Jamboy, who even 2 years on harps on about his 4 consecutive wins in T2, and our new member of the TRL pre- and post-race squad for Season 6. He recently retired one-time TRL champion Valtteri Bottas. I'm going to start with you, Valtteri. How exciting is it to be starting a new job with us and stressing about what you're going to say live on camera instead of stressing about what you're going to do on the track?
Yeah, it's fun, a change of rhythm for sure. I mean, I don't have to stress about the race and crashing into people, so that's at least nice.
Yeah, and I only offered him Bottas the job last night, and thankfully he accepted. But yeah, we're very happy to have you with us. Let's go to Jamboy. New season, new drivers, all new things going on in the world of TRL. But you seem to have a decent lineup as Ferrari team principal. Of course, you've got Hecron as your lead driver, and the news just broke this morning that Ronnie officially licensed the signing of from F2 champion Brad Gibb to your squad. So how happy are you coming into round 1?
I was quite happy. This morning it was a bit of a struggle. About 5 in the morning, I saw a message from Ronald saying, "I don't know about this signing." I'm just like, "What's going on here, pal?" But managed, we got it over the line, and I think we have a great chance for today and the rest of the season.
And Titan, I'll just throw it to you because I said in the intro that you've been here forever, and you've seen the TRL greats come and go, and you've seen them do incredible things on the track, and some not so incredible things. For such a wise head like yourself, what are you looking for in a future champion? Because most of our big boys are taking partial seasons, or they've retired in the case of Bottas. So what are you looking for in potentially our new champion-elect in a couple of months' time?
I think mainly what I would look for personally, or hoping to look for, is someone who has not only good pace, good qualifying, but also good strategy and also, good racecraft, and able to safely race with other people and not become a terrorist.
Yeah, that is good, and I'm just gonna get the elephant out of the room here, and I'm just gonna ask Bottas, why did you retire? Because you were kind of at the peak of your height, the peak of your fame, I suppose, and ability on F1 24 a couple of months ago.
I mean, for one, I didn't really like F1 24. I mean, it was one of my best F1 games, but just driving it felt bad and wasn't motivated to drive it, so I decided to just take a break from TRL for at least a season. We'll see next season if I join or not.
Yeah, but I suppose 12 weeks of us is enough to drive any person insane and maybe try and get you back on the track. But we are going to take a look at the runners and riders for Season 6, our 6th, I should say our 7th full season under the Turbo Racing League now, because of course we had Season 5.5 a couple of weeks ago, which obviously Magnasheep will be taking part tonight, but again, he's one of the drivers doing a partial season. So let's take a look at the runners and riders for Season 6, starting with, of course, our reigning Constructors Champions, Kick Sauber, who of course have been ahead above everyone for so long now. Obviously Bottas retired and they have brought in Tom Gray, our new social media manager, to replace him alongside last season's champion Magnasheep. Aston Martin go over the lineup of Kels Bean and Marcus Munoz. Alpine, 2 Slovenians, Antilen Pepovic and Theo. Mercedes, 2 Finnish drivers of Bobo and Noel Heikkinen. Ferrari, of course, as we mentioned, have Brad Gibb, the reigning F2 champion, and Hecron, who's been there since the very beginning. McLaren, 2 Polish drivers in Oscar and Adam. Oscar running a partial season, of course, only running 4 races to my understanding. Red Bull unchanged as they have been for seasons now, Thomas and Ryu Zapu. Williams, Chris Rahman and Ben Boyle. And RB, Maciek and Jan Kotel. And of course, as has been the big talking point over the last couple of hours and days, Haas in disarray. They are the only team that don't have a full driver's lineup. They only have one driver of Alfredo Garcia. And Jamboy, they're in a lot of trouble.
They're in a lot of trouble. He's the only driver signed on to Haas, I believe. Even Academy reserves, they've got no one left, and I think it's a shame to see such a big team in TRL history go down.
Titan, it was a very long time ago that you were team principal of Aston Martin back in the tireless days before you rebranded, but even then you never let your team stoop so far that they are in such dire straits going into the first race.
I always made sure that we had drivers and that everyone tried to get along with each other and there was no disagreements.
I mean, Valtteri, if you were the head of Haas now, if you were going into the job as team principal now, because of course Dennis took the job what only seems like a couple of days ago and resigned this morning, that's a sign of very poor leadership, and B, I mean, for a personal point of view, if you were going into that job now, you would be incredibly worried.
Yeah, you 100% would. I mean, if a team principal leaves after 2 seasons, it cannot be promising. If I was the team principal, I would probably just take a punt on like 2 F2 drivers to see if they can do well in the job, because I don't think there's anyone who raced last season in F1 who wants to race this season that already doesn't have a seat.
Yeah, and under the TRL sporting guidelines, any team that does not have 2 drivers will be fined. So we'll see if the action will be taken to Haas within the next couple of days or so. Right, you know what time it is. It is the first Storms grid walk of the season, and we are going to start off with Ryu Zappu.
Yeah, Storm, quickly, do I make the lobby or not?
Oh, fair enough. He's here.
I'm making the lobby, you're not on the line, so...
Yeah. Ryu, afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you.
Le Mans. It's Le Mans day. We shouldn't really be racing. We should be watching Le Mans. It's 22 hours and 11 minutes left. We'll keep you updated through the race. But look, season 6 now. I mean, we've gone past where we left off in Tireless. We only got 5 seasons with it, and only 3 really counted. We're into unprecedented territory now for you. How do you feel coming into this season?
Much better than I was going into last season and season 5, season 4, 5.5. Much more confident in my pace.
How do you feel about Australia? New LiDAR scan track. You more confident?
Honestly, it hasn't changed so much. It's really just some of the curbing, but to me, it's no big difference to before.
And I'm just asking because the Red Bull partnership with you and Thomas has been so prominent over the last couple of seasons. How happy are you with him as your teammate?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy, honestly. He's a good pace. He's a great teammate. We help each other out whenever we need. So he's overall a great teammate, and he understands setups a lot. So he helps me out with that sometimes.
Well, best of luck for the opening race of the season, Ryu.
Thank you.
I forgot that I was hosting the lobby for a second. The invites are going out now. Don't worry about that. Look, Titan, I'm just gonna ask you straight out. Who do you think's gonna win the championship?
Very tough question, as we haven't even done the first race yet.
Yeah, exactly why I'm asking you. But just give us a very off the cuff response. Excuse me, of who might win the championship. Who do you think is strong?
I think Sauber looks strong.
Yeah, well,
Well,
it wouldn't be
depends.
very hard to put past them. I suppose Tom has come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of seasons, and crucially as well. And I'm gonna go to Bottas for this. Wheel flicking was such a prominent strategy on F124, and that's just been completely eradicated. You might be able to get away with it in qualifying, maybe for 1 corner or 2, but in the race, it is just not a viable strategy anymore. The cream's going to rise to the top for the people who have gotten used to that. Whenever you do return, I feel, if you do return, how happy would you be to drive about that wheel flicking strategy?
Yeah, I mean, I never used the wheel flicking strategy. I just thought it was bullshit and just not worth my time. Because, I mean, you don't gain that much compared to the wear that you still got on F124, and even in F125 it's now been patched that you get even more wear, so I don't think it's that much of a difference to drive for me personally. Maybe for some people, such as Oscar, who I know that has been using it, maybe it's a difference for him, but not for me personally.
Right, well, we'll continue on with Gridwalk, and Bottas, I'm just going to put you in charge of sorting out the invites while I'm at this. We're going to speak to Oscar now.
Hello.
Hi Oscar, Valtteri was obviously saying that you were using wheel flicking to your advantage on F124. Strategy's gone now. You gotta be you gotta be a lot more careful with the tire wear now. How confident are you feeling coming into this season now?
I really don't know. It's a new game, new everything, so the pecking order might be so much different as of what we had in F124. It's like in real life, really, with new regulations that the pecking order can change so much. So yeah, it's like an example of Hamilton, how he used to drive in this turbo hybrid era, but now in this ground effect era, differently drive car and just performs worse.
Yeah, we spoke to you in the press conference yesterday, and we went a little bit off topic with some fake legal issues that you were having with one of the members of our commentary team. But looking towards this season, you're not running the full season, which is understandable because you're going away for a couple of weeks. For the couple of races that you are doing, what do you want to accomplish? I know you said yesterday that you want to help McLaren out as much as you possibly can the Constructors' Championship, but how much do you want to be there on a personal level?
Personal level as everyone want to win. You want to win the race. You want to get maximum points possible and win the championship. But I know that I'm gone for like 9 weeks in Poland, so I'll lose a lot of races. So these races which I race, hopefully just help McLaren. And if there will be a situation where my teammate will be in a crucial championship, I will help him out, try to get the W for McLaren.
Well, the very best of luck to you, Oscar, and have a good race tonight.
Thank you very much.
Let's see if we can speak to Sam Rose. Is Sam available to talk to us? If not, then we'll go and speak with Hekron. We'll say hello to Hekron there now.
Yeah, afternoon.
Hekron, Ferrari calling now. You said yesterday in the press conference that you'd built up a good reputation and friendship, I suppose, with Jamboy. And we asked you, like, what's he brought for you? What do you want to bring for him? You obviously want to bring the Constructors' Championship, but what is the best way to start tonight? The win, or how are you feeling with the track? How are you feeling with the game in general?
Yeah, I feel amazing with the game, better than 24, all I'm really trying to do is just score some good points, a podium will definitely be nice, but I'll have to see what will happen in the race because you never know what can happen. And yeah, I have really high expectations today.
What was your opinion on last year's big wheel flicking strategy? Were you prominent with that, or?
No, I mean, I did try wheel flicking though, because like I was really slow. I didn't really like it. I kept spinning every corner.
Right.
But I like this game now because wheel flicking is not as much as 24. So it got reduced. It's playable actually now.
Thanks very much for your time, Hekron. Best of luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's speak to the home hero, Kels Bean.
Hello.
Home race. How did it feel to open up the season with home soil advantage, I suppose we could call it?
Yeah, I mean, it comes with excitement and nervousness because it's the first race, you'll find out everyone's true pace, and you always want to perform well at your home race, but it's a high expectations if you fall short, and I wouldn't want to fall short here.
How are you feeling with the game so far?
Well, it feels a lot better than F124. I feel a lot more confident in the qualifying and the race. So, besides outside circumstances, I feel I'm a lot stronger than I was last year.
And obviously just looking towards your season in general, how do you think you're going to be able to perform?
Well, obviously me and the team have a lot of goals that we've set for this year, and I'm expected to meet those goals, so my goal is to just try and perform at what they want, and probably even better than what they want. But that'll be my goal for performance.
Yeah, best of luck tonight then, Kels, and have a fun home race.
Thank you.
Let's speak with Tom Gray.
Good afternoon.
Tom, it's a weird one for you this season because obviously you've moved now to the dominant Kick Sauber team who have ruled the roost in TRL for so long. And apart from that, you're also the social media manager of the league now, which is quite a weird parallel. But moving to this ever-present Omni-Essen team that have just been at the top of their game for so many seasons now, is there a lot of pressure on your shoulders heading into this season?
Well, I mean, of course, I'm replacing a champion, so there's some pressure definitely. But I think I can do a good job. I'll try my best, of course. This game is feeling pretty strong on my behalf. And Magnus, he's a great teammate to have. And I know he's reliable, consistent, and hopefully I can just bring it home with him as well.
How are you feeling with F125? Because obviously you were pretty decent on F124. You had a couple of fantastic races. Is this a real stepping stone for you? Does this game give you the confidence to push on in your ability as a driver in this league?
I think I'm quite a smooth driver, so the whole wheel flicking thing being removed is quite a good thing on my behalf because I think my driving style is more suited to this game. So I'm better, looking better at this. So I think I can do better, hopefully, than last game, but we'll just see how it goes, I guess.
Right, well, the very best of luck tonight, Tom. Who else can we get a quick word with? Let's speak with Aston Martin team principal Will.
Hello?
Hi Will, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, Season 6. New start for everyone. You've got Kels and Marcus as your drivers this season. What are you expecting of Aston Martin this campaign?
Well, obviously I left Aston for a brief period to get back to racing, and when I did, the form of Aston had a drop. So I'm expecting to get back up to where we were before, preferably top 5 in constructors.
Yeah, top 5 is the goal, as you've just said. Building on this for the future, if you're consistently getting top 5 in the championship for, let's say, the next 2 seasons, do you feel like you'll be able to recruit the big stars like some other teams have been able to?
Well, I think if we're already doing well enough, if it's good, why change it, So I'm happy with the boys I've got.
You okay there? You okay, Will?
Yeah, I think so.
Ah, you cut out there, that's alright. Anyway, we are a couple of minutes away from qualifying getting underway, so we'll let you go. Best of luck for your team's success this season.
Thank you.
Jamboy, welcome to the lobby. Welcome to your first TRL commentary of 2025. On F125, I should say.
It's looking good.
Excuse me. How excited are we all? I'll start with Tyne. How excited are you for the new season?
Very excited. I just can't wait to see the potential here.
Jamboy, same question to you.
Yeah, I think we're in store for a treat here for today and the rest of the season. We hope just for some great entertainment.
And obviously, same question to you, Valtteri. It's a weird one for you not driving, but how excited are you to watch these guys without the pressure of defending a title?
Yeah, I'm interested to see what lap times they do and how they actually drive against each other because I've obviously not seen them in a spectator POV before.
We have 15 out of a potential 19, I believe, drivers in the lobby, so we're going to get underway in about 2 or 3 minutes' time. So we've probably got 1 or 2 drivers to accept. We need 17 for full qualifying. And if we do get that tonight, Jamboy, how important is it that you are consistently at your best through Q1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, I think if you know you're a top driver, I think Q1 and Q2 you can take it a little bit slower, ramp it up as you go through. But the Q3 will put you on your toes because you put so much energy in the previous lap. You've got to get it done in 12 minutes time.
And Jamboy, I know Sam Rose has requested you to do something. Are you gonna adhere to what he said?
I'll find it. No mother comment. I would. I'll try not let it slip out.
Yeah, he'll think about it. Right.
I can't stop it.
I understand that. Right. We are going to take a very quick break. When we come back, the opening qualifying session of F125 and TRL and the opening qualifying of Season 6 from Australia. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Titan, why are you dubbing?
or?
I've been trying to
Do we have adverts on Twitch?
Tell me when, Titan.
Yeah, it's all good.
Right, we're back. We're back for the first qualifying session of the season. Very quickly, what weather do we think it's going to be? We'll start with you, Titan.
Well, I mean, yesterday in F2 there was a mix of rain and dry conditions, so I'm not sure.
Boss, that's your thoughts
what?
on what weather it's going to be.
Ooh, I think it'll be overcast into wet weather race.
To find out anyway. I don't think we've got time for Jamboy's opinion, but welcome along, everyone. The first TRL qualifying session on F125 and the first qualifying session of Season 6, live from Australia. It is sunny, and that's lovely for everyone, isn't it? Welcome along, everyone. I'm Mr. Storm, joined in the commentary box this evening by Titan, by Valtteri Bottas, and by Jamboy. Jamboy and Bottas are reporters and analysts, respectively. Titan, first qualifying session of the season. It's always a lovely way to get started. First day of school, sort of feeling. How happy are you to be back in the swing of things for TRL?
Very happy to be back. I'm happy to see what everyone's got and how far they'll push themselves to be the best they can.
Jamboy, keeping up the Ted Kravitz role in on commentary this I suppose in the commentary box this season. How happy are you to be back?
Very happy. I think we can bring some great commentary lines and moments for the rest of the season.
And I suppose we'll fit it in your little segment. Jamboy says, what do you say?
Maybe.
Okay. It's interesting, right? And of course, a very warm welcome to the very first time to the TRL commentary box for the Season 5 champion, Valtteri Bottas. We have cars out on track, and the first car to get going. And what is a very, very beautifully designed Formula 1 game, and a graphically beautiful game. Out on track first is the home hero, Kelsbean's first qualifying session of the season. And we've got 17 minutes and 10 seconds of short qualifying to set our grid for round 1 of the season. What are you looking for most in a driver that can set pole position today, Valtteri?
Probably the person who can just be the most consistent, especially in the corner that Kers is approaching now. This is one of the toughest corners in the entire F1 game. Just after Sector 1, if they just go a little bit wide, that's the lap done, and if it's the last run, they will just not improve and have a lower chance of getting pole position.
Well, I'm very happy to say that this is my 6th consecutive season commentating on TRL races and 9th overall if we go all the way back to the tireless era. Of course, as I say it on every single stream I can, your support is never taken for granted. We love to have you here, whether you're participating in Grid Walk or participating on voice chat. Whether you're there or whether you're watching on Twitch, we are always in debt for your support, and we are ready for the first lap of the F125 era, and it goes to the home hero, Kels Beans, who rounds out the final corner here at the Albert Park circuit, activates the DRS, and gets the F125 era of Turbo Racing League underway, hitting up to 320 kilometers an hour as he flicks it right, then left for turns 1 and 2. 5th gear, rising into 6th, activates the DRS as he comes down the front straight now towards turn 3. He's used about 30% of his battery, and of course the main thing that we're going to have to worry about this season is tyre wear, not just in qualifying but also in the race. The wheel flicking strategy is now gone, and Kels is looking very tentative going through the first sector here as he comes up towards the split. It is a 26.914. Of course, Australia now LiDAR scanned, and Kels going all the way off the track. And he's still going, which is interesting, and I was a little bit taken aback because the speedometer is now in a completely different place to where it was in F124. So we've all got to learn for different things. We've all got to learn a couple of new game mechanics for this year. 44.748 in the middle sector as Kels comes up towards the reprofiled final sector, which was of course done in 2022 for the new era of Formula 1 cars. Of course, it's going to be our last season with these cars. Of course, F126 will have the new active aerodynamic cars with X-wings and Y-wings and whatever, as Kels comes up towards turn number 15, towards the final corner around the Albert Park circuit. 4th gear, rising into 5th, he's sliding everywhere. It's certainly not been the best stop, but he comes up towards the timing line, sets a 1 minute 17.568 to get the season going. Next up is Syfy F1, making his TRL debut for Red Bull Racing tonight, reserving it for Thomas, who's not here with us. Much cleaner out of the last corner than Kels was, and coming up towards the line. It is a much better lap time of 1 minute 15.911. We've got an Aston Martin of Marcus now, who hurtles up towards the line 16.466. And we have Ryu Zappu, who goes to the top of the timesheets with a 1 minute 15.858. Westrizi slots in 3rd, but a great start to the session for our Season 2 champion Titan.
Yes, it definitely has, and all the very competitive lap times on the field.
Who else is on the lap? We've got Smotchek, who has set a very slow time, though 1 minute 21.946, so he's going to go again. We've got the Haas of Kazoo coming up towards the line and take us through the lap, Titan.
Indeed, as we go to turn 1 and 2, nice on there, nice and smooth. Very clean, DRS wide open towards turn 3, barreling down the corner, braking right now. Don't want to go too far because you could go off, but that's good. Now into turn 4 and then turns 5, which is very good. And then turns 6, now into turn 6, there we go. Oh, bit off, and that is the lap compromised, but he's still going to keep going, it looks like, all the way down to the rest of the sector, coming to the quick left and right of 9 and 10. As we go to turn 9 and 10, there we go. Brake flicking it in, goes over the curves, like he's done rise the curbs as well as possible. Now to a small straight DRS wide open into turn 11. There we go, over the curb, balancing over it now to turn 12. Nicely done, nicely swerve around there. Car ahead, not too much as usual. Turn 13 and then turn 14. Go around the corner, and there we go. Onto the straight, DRS wide open, and across the line. It's a 1:18.7.
9 out of our 15 drivers have set lap times, 8 out of the 15 have set actual competitive times. Smotchek is starting his second flying run now, which we'll focus on in a minute. Magnusheep is coming through the final sector now, coming through turn number 12. He's going to flick it left and then right for 13 and 14, dropping it down to second for turn 13. Of course, the Season 5.5 champion, the 3-time reigning and defending TRL champion. Coming up towards the line now, what is this going to be? Is it going to go to the top of the timesheets? Yes, he does, by 4 thousandths of a second. And a fantastic lap time from your former teammate, Valtteri.
Yeah, it was. I had a look of that sector 1 by Magnus. It was pretty good. He lost the rear a little bit in turn 3 on the braking.
And we'll head to our roving reporter, Mr. Ted Kravitz. I should say Mr. Ted Kravitz. Mr. Jamboy Kravitz, whatever you want to be called, Portsmouth's finest son. What have you seen so far that has brought your attention?
Nothing much. We're quiet down here in the pit lane here, but Hecron coming through on his final lap into the final few corners, and he's going to come across the main straight and finish his lap now.
Yeah, here comes Hecron, of course, for Ferrari. Your driver, Jamboy, and he goes straight to the top of the timesheets himself with a 1 minute 15.816, and the top 6 separated by just around a tenth, about 1300ths, we'll say. That is very, very tight with 11 minutes to go.
Yes, okay, I've just seen.
Compose yourself, Titan.
I've just. Okay, yeah, it is. It's very. Sorry, I've just seen someone in chat coming with the name of Tyson built like a boat.
Alright, we'll leave it at that. We'll also go to the 24-hour Le Mans going through the rest of these sessions. 21 hours, 47 minutes, and about 20 seconds left in the greatest race in endurance motorsport. And the 6 Porsches currently leading in the hypercar category. Kevin Estert's having a great day so far. The 83 Ferrari AF Corsa is in the second, and the 4 Porsche, who was leading the race earlier on, is in third. 10 minutes and 10 seconds to go in Q1, first qualifying session of the season. In TRL, and it's Hecron who's top from Magnitude, then from Raya Zapu. Daifa F1, I believe, is starting another run. I'm just going to check to see whether his first sector time is improving or not. And then I'll hand it over to Titan. Is it an improvement? Yes, it is. All yours, Titan.
Who, sorry?
The guy in 4th place, Scythe F1.
Bro's not
making
locked in.
TRL, I think.
Alright, so, down the, well, this straight, it's more of a curve as a straight, but here we go, turns 9 and 10. Nice smoothly done, onto the curb. I don't know how he didn't validate that was very close. But anyway, using all the ERS, not much battery left at all. Gonna have to try and regen some as he goes over the curb. Nicely done. Now around we go down to turns 13 and 14. A lot of people can go wide off this track and sometimes onto the grass, but it seems to be doing okay. Nicely smooth, going close to the wall, but there we go. ERS and GRS wide open, using all of that power unit power to come across the line. And it's fast as a 1:15.5.
Mega lap from Scythe F1 to go to the top of the timesheets in his first ever TRL race, reserving for Red Bull. And I suppose that'd be a good enough performance to get him in a permanent seat with another team, Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah, it was an amazing lap by the rookie this season. 2.5 tenths ahead of Hecron, who also had an amazing lap.
Yeah, Raya Zappa's also on another run. Anything to note from Red Bull so far, Jamboy?
He is leading flying at the minute. He might be better than the reserve. Might be better than Thomas at this point. That was a brilliant stonking lap.
Yeah, Raya did have a huge kick of Oyster coming out of turn 3, which probably cost him about a tenth and a half, maybe 2 tenths. But in the first sector, he still finds himself 22 thousandths of a second up. But just on the concept, and I suppose on the topic of mistakes, Valtteri, around a track like this, turn 3 is probably one of the better places to maybe have a small kick of Oyster compared to maybe coming up to the corner Ryu is now. If you run wide, your whole lap's gone.
Yeah, it definitely is. The worst going to do it is turn 6, or the one right after sector 1, because if you even have a little bit of kick of oversteer there, you could go to the gravel and you just lose over a second there. And also the corner that was in the fast chicane, because it's so easy to invalidate that lap there.
Raya Zappa coming through turn number 13 and then into turn number 14. It hasn't been the worst lap in the world for the Season 2 champion. His teammates are already at the top of the timesheets. Will he go any quicker than Scythe F1? Yes, he does. But it is so tight between those 2 Red Bull drivers. 9 thousandths of a second separating them. Potential teammate war in qualifying incoming, Titan. Seems a bit stupid to say, but they are incredibly quick.
Oh, my game crashed.
My game crashed.
My game crashed.
Really?
Everyone's game's crashed.
Wonderful, great start season, F1 25!
yeah, oh, no, it's an issue all our commentators have left except me. I'll invite you all back.
Oh my god.
Great start to the season, guys.
We're well on strike.
Oh, God. Well, great game, Codemasters. Great game, Codemasters. Right, problem, none of you are showing online.
We're not online.
it's-
We're
You're not showing
online
online
if
stuff.
you're not in the game.
Yeah, the game hasn't started yet.
All three of you are on PC, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the game just completely crashed. Okay, fair enough. Right, I'll try and... Okay, I've got to become a radio commentator now, like Murray 2007. Right, so... We're riding on board with Oscar, but we're not going to ride on board with Oscar anymore. We're not going to ride on board with Smotchek. We're going to ride instead with Hecaron, who is hurtling his way down the back straight. He's used 60% of his batteries. He comes up towards that middle sector split, 42 seconds on his clock, and he's 3 and a bit tenths down. So no good lap from Hecaron. Magnashoot's also on a flying run, but he's not going quick. Nor is Jan Kotisa. Mr. Business is on a flying run. He's in 8th. Theo and Sam Rose, the only drivers yet to set times. And I'm just going to see whether the guys are coming back, because I'm a little bit annoyed about how this season started for us now. And I was going to say as well, do you know what I was going to say? I'm very happy to be back. And before I said that, the three of you just completely crashed out at the end.
The better than
I
last
still
game.
am very happy to be back, don't
It's a
get me
better
wrong,
game,
but it's
Crashes.
been a little dampened from that. You know what I'm trying to say, yeah?
Oh.
F125 is
You
good.
just heard 3 consecutive, all my games crashed, all my games crashed, all my games crashed. Lovely, lovely start, guys. Well done. Well
This game is better.
An amazing
Crashes
game.
immediately.
My fan is attacking me.
What?
It's stuck
Some
to my
boys being
chair.
murdered on air.
This is the TRL first, isn't it?
Fantastic start to the new season when 3 out of the 4 commentators just die, and then 1 actually gets killed by his fan.
Oh, can I get the invite now?
As soon as we said, oh, F125, good game, crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's better in every single way except for the fact that it's not polished at all.
Titan built like the boat says Sam Rose is shit. He is shit.
Oof.
Get Bradley in, get Sam out.
Why am I feeling haptic feedback in my controller from someone who's not on track? This game is not polished.
Yeah,
Fix your
this game
goddamn
is actually
game.
amazing,
Fix your game, Codemaster. Come on.
Storm, drop the invite.
Titan's back. None of the other 2 aren't though. Titan,
It's
if you
not
can sort
like
out
if
the
it
invites.
froze first and then crashed.
Yes.
Yeah, mine did that.
Titan built like the boat is a top tier Twitch account.
Be like the Titanic.
Right, Titan, are you returning now?
Apparently Sam Rose will get Paul.
I sent you an invite there, Titan, so
Yeah, I am joining.
Give me one as well, please.
I don't have you on EA friends. You don't show up for me.
We're not friends.
We're not.
Hey, get me an invite.
No, we're just co-workers, I'm afraid.
What in the Ethan Bazinga?
I was just gonna say
Guys,
that.
we've got 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to qualifying. I think Titan might need to hurry up accepting this invite so people can actually see what's going on.
I'm in.
Titan,
I'm in,
get us
I'm in,
invites.
Are you?
Get us
Are you
invites.
back? Okay. Is boss ass back?
No, my game is still starting.
What?
That's not very good.
I'm in the lobby. Someone invite me.
Are you?
I'm waiting.
Titan,
Well,
I'm not in the Actually, who
game
invited you in the first?
No, I haven't been invited yet. I need an invite.
No, but who invited you the first time when we were
Me.
setting-
Yeah, Emil.
Okay.
We're so
Titan,
quick.
you're back, 100%.
Yes.
Okay,
Titan,
we're riding on
Titan,
board with
also,
Sam
can you
Rose.
invite
He's
me now?
invalidated
Can you
his
invite me
outlaw.
now?
What was that?
Can you invite me now?
Yes, I'm trying to see if you're live.
Well, there's a problem because at the moment I'm on board
Thank
with
you,
Sam
Hecron.
Rose and he's in the garage while steering and
Oh, I see what you mean.
I love this game. I love this game. This is a really well-made Formula 1 game. We were so worried. We were so worried glitches that might actually affect the performance again. No, it's just not polished. Everyone just dies on PC.
Invite.
he's used
I'm
some
doing that
nice
now.
steering in the pit lane.
Right, take us through Sam Rose's lap, Titan.
I don't. Apparently he's on a lap. What? He's on the out lap now.
Yeah, he's on an actual flying lap. Yeah.
He's in the pit lane.
Is he in the pit lane? Oh god. Right, well, Cypher, Oscar, Spotcheck, and Hecaron are all on outlaps. Ryu Zapu is put on the big boy pants and he's coming out last of everyone. We'll find out what happens there. Is everyone finally back? Do we have a head count? We have a head count here. Titan present.
Yes.
Jamboy.
Yes.
Bossas.
I am here now.
Lovely. Nice. Crisis averted. 1 minute 45 seconds to go in qualifying. The top 7, I mean the top 8, I mean Mr. Business is leaving it incredibly late, but he is heading out on track. He's going to be the last to head out on track now. But first and foremost, we're starting off with Smotchek, who's only about a tenth and a bit off. And as these final 90 seconds elapse, we will find out who's going to get pole position for the Australian Grand Prix. And Smotchek, either from the sense of speed or my sense of reality, went very slow. He's disconnected.
Nice.
Oscar's up next then out of our big couple for pole position. I should say that Jan Curtis has also started his up 0.02 of a second up in the first sector. So he's our first real contender for pole position, who is going in this qualifying section, really using the slipstream there off the Haas behind him. And in the middle, the Haas in front of him, I should say, 0.57 of a second up in the middle sector. Oscar's now retired. So what has happened for McLaren? We're going to find out. Heckron's also started a flying run. This is his last chance. Magda shoots in an outlap. We're going to ride on board with Jan Kotisa as he comes up towards the line now as he heads through turn number 12. Flat out through there into 13. Flick it left and flick it right one last time. Heckron coming up towards the first sector split. We'll ride with him in a minute. But Magda Sheep was going to come up to the line to start his lap. Jan Kotisa coming up towards the line to end his. Jan Kotisa goes third, and he's only 0.38 of a second off pole position. Heckron, the first sector, has found a 10th spot. Chick is back, but won't improve. So he's going to start 5th or lower. Heckron coming up towards that middle sector split. He's found a 10th in the first sector. How much more can he find in the middle? He's 2.5 tenths up. He's over 2.5 tenths up. And he could be on for pole position here. Saif is heading up towards the middle sector. Ryu Zappu towards the first sector. Ryu Zappu's up by nearly 2 tenths. So everyone's finding time here, but it's going to be Heckron, the first out of our big 6, potentially even big 7 or 8, that is going to get their time across the timing line first. Through turn number 13, small lock up at the front left. That could cost him about half a tenth or perhaps a tenth. Westrizi has retired, he hasn't improved. So here comes Heckron up towards the line. Is it going to be an improvement for him? He only goes 4th. And that lockup might have cost him a lot of time. Saif F1 has spun. Ryu Zappu has now gone past his teammate for the weekend. And he is going to be now the first out of the rest of the people who have yet to finish their lap to come up towards the line. Through turn number 14. Then,
up.
yeah, through 13, then to 14. And will the Season 2 champion start the season on pole position? Up towards the line he comes for Ryu Zappu. It's a 1 minute 15.343, which should be enough. Magdashik looks like he's backed out, so is Mr. Business, and Ryu Zappu takes the first pole position of Season 6. And what a lap that was, Valtteri.
Yeah, it was an amazing lap. He was already 2 tenths up on his personal best after Sector 2. He improved by another half a tenth in Sector 3 alone.
Ryu Zappu on pole, and it's a Red Bull 1-2 Titan.
Yes, it is. So I'm just completely bamboozled. As soon as you said smoke seconds on the lap, disconnect.
Your head went spinning on Mars as soon as that happened. Jamboy, what a start to the season for Red Bull, but Heckron in 4th.
Heckron in 4th, you know, I'm not worried. What happens in the race? Well, we've got 27, 28 laps to go. Come on.
29 laps.
29 laps. You can do some magic here. We know it.
Can I just mention?
What?
Sam Rose has qualified P11 while being in the pit lane.
You know what I call that? I call that former champion bias.
Yeah,
and despite the fact he won his championship nearly 3 years ago. Still.
That's a GOAT performance.
Oh god. First qualifying session of F125 and of Season 6 in the books, and it's Ryu Zappu who's on pole position by 0.2 of a second from Cypher F1 in 2nd position for Red Bull. Third on the grid is Jan Kotisa, alongside him on the second row is Heckron, Oscar, Smotchek, Magnaship, Mr. Business, Marcus and Westrizi. Round out the top 10, as said, Sam Rose is 11th. Brad Gibb is in 12th, with Kels and the Godboy in 14th. Kazoo was 15th on the medium compound tire. Theo did not set a lap time. The opening race of Season 6, and our opening race in F125 is live and uninterrupted. And of course, it's next.
Ooh.
Some predicted there would be rain, and look at the dark skies that are overhead the Albert Park circuit. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mr. Storm, joined in the commentary box by Titan, by Bottas, and by Jamboy for the first time this season. It's a dream team that we've lined up, and the dream team of Red Bull.
They put me in a car. I'm driving. I'm in the Mercedes. I'm in the Mercedes.
He's back! Bottas is back!
I'm having a lot of fun with this, guys. But it's a dream team we've lined up, and it's a dream team of Red Bull main driver and reserve that's on the front row.
Yeah, I'm
Ryu
gonna go
Zappu.
retire in the pit lane.
Bottas
Goodness me.
has
Polish your
unretired.
game, polish your game, polish your game. That's all I'm asking, Codemaster.
So Bottas has secretly returned to racing. Now Sauber have 3
Yeah,
cars.
I'm driving the Mercedes. Thank you, Sean, for signing me. It's a huge honor. I've always wanted to be a part of this team.
What is this Sauber bias?
This is TRL Heritage. And we are ready for the first formation lap of the new season. And of course, you can drive in whatever order you like as long as you do not crash into anyone. And already the Red Bull of Hecarim goes steaming off into the distance. Let's take a look at what compound of tyres the field is starting on. It's mixed, but let's run through the top half of the field first. The 2 Red Bulls of both Ryu Zappu and Cypher are both on the medium compound tyre. Then Yangotis of Racing Bulls and Hecarim on the hard compound tyre. Oscar Smutchek, Magnasheep, Mr. Business and Marcus on the mediums, with Strazy rounding out the top half of the grid on the hards. Sam Rose is 11th on the mediums with Brad Gibb on the hards. Then it's Kels on the mediums, 2 hard runners of the God Boy and Kazoo, with Theo rounding out the field on the mediums. And the, well, we're not going to say who's in 17th. Valtteri Bottas.
Okay. Yeah, now that I am for this race, it's just gonna be overcast.
That's lovely. That's good to know. But Valtteri, I'm just going to talk about the strategy battle with you for a while. Medium or hard? What would you do if you're racing? I mean, you are technically in a car, but if you were actually racing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a medium hard or hard medium. If you are on the mediums, it's 12, 13 that you're gonna pit onto the hards, and if you are on the mediums, it's gonna be around lap 16, 17 that you are pitting onto the mediums to make it to the end. If someone is gonna be dumb, they're gonna go medium, soft, but that's just not gonna work. The softs are absolutely horrendous as a race tire around here.
Look how far Hecarim is up on the field already. He's already lining into his grid spot. Is that a psychological thing, Jamboy, do you think? Jamboy?
He's dead.
What was the question? I zoned out, sorry.
Do you think it's a psychological thing, Hecarim lining up in his grid spot so early?
He's just like Orin Farmer, right? He's doing his thing.
Tyson, final predictions for the race. Who's going to take it?
Well, if the game manages to stay alive, hopefully someone.
Yeah,
I think
that's
I'm
the
gonna
whole
win this.
Yeah, from
I'm gonna
17.
win.
Are you excited, everyone?
Yes.
I hope you're excited at home. If you're listening in the voice chat, I hope you're excited. If you're watching on Twitch, I hope you're excited. I can barely contain myself. I'm sitting down and I'm shaking, and I normally shake when I watch films with audio systems cranked up way high. I vibrate in my seat. I'm lifted off my seat. I don't like that, but I kind of have to do it. There's a Mercedes. It's Bottas who's gone around. He's not going to make the start. He's going to retire. But for the first time this season, we are ready to go racing in TRL for Season 6. We go to 1, we go to 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. A new era begins here at Albert Park. The Australian Grand Prix is underway. It's a great start from the poleman Ryu Zappu. Cypher's not had the best launch in the world. Hecarim's going to get up into third, coming down into turn 1. But it's Ryu Zappu who gets the whole shot coming through turn number 1 and 2. Still a Red Bull 1-2 as it was. Hecarim's in third, but he's got a great run on Cypher. Going up the inside, coming down into turn 3. Joseph for a move on the inside, forces Cypher wide a little bit, and he's going to have the outside for turn number 4. Can he hang it around? He's forced off wide, but he does get the place, and then loses it immediately after. So Zappu from Cypher from Hecarim, Oscar, then Magnasheep, Mr. Business, Marcus, Jan Kotisa with Westrizi and Brad Gibb, then 9th and 10th. And we have a spin in the back. The home hero Kelspeen is around.
Emil's not lost.
He's not.
Let's go.
Have you retired?
I'm going to do a pit guy so I don't cross the safety car.
Okay, that's fine. Well, possible race strategies. If you're starting on the hards, you'll be pitting around laps 16 to 17 mediums. I'd say a couple of laps before that, but the perfect start for the Red Bulls Titan.
Yeah, it is perfect start for him indeed. Oh, but he's got a penalty.
Yeah, first 3 second time penalty off the new season given to the Alpine driver in 15th position. Valtteri said he's going to retire in the pit lane to not give anyone the safety car. or not cause a safety car, I should say, and Kels is in 17th position. But it's Red Bull from McLaren from Ferrari as we head on to the first racing lap, I should say, of the new season. DRS enabled. Ryu Zappi sets the fastest lap, obviously, as Cypher follows him across the line in second for Red Bull. Oscar's in third for McLaren. Bottas got a 10-second time penalty, but he retires, and he now joins us in the commentary box.
That's
Now
good.
you can focus, Valtteri. Now you can focus. How important is it the Red Bull keep this 1-2 lead?
Around here, it's actually not that important because of the long DRS zone after Sector 1 that they are now in. Obviously, if you're P2, it's the optimal one, so the optimal would be probably like second and third, because the first position can easily lose 2 positions in these next 2 DRS zones.
And of course, if you're new to Formula 1, you have to move in a second of the car in front to activate the drag reduction system. In those zones, there are quite a lot around Australia. I believe there are 4 in real life, but it seems 1, 2, 3, 4. Are there 4? I will find out. Siphon second position, of course, had the DRS on his teammate. Obviously, wasn't able to get past. He was too far back. Jan Kotisa and Marcus are having a ding-dong scrap for 7th position. And Marcus is just about held on to the position as he is on for 6 championship points at the moment. Coming on to lap 3 of 29, Ryu leads from Siphon second, Oscar in third. Heighten for Oscar, it's big to get past Cypher, and it looks like he's got the race pace early on, so fast up the race.
Yeah, so he does. He's definitely keeping on the back of the top 2. Obviously on the podium position, which is good, but he's gonna, well, he definitely wants to get further and get a win.
And it seems like track limits are a problem for the God Boy and for Theo as well. Both Alpines getting 3-second time penalties within the first 2 full laps of racing. We forgot to mention, by the way, that Kelsbean's pace after his opening lap spin. He now resides in 16th position on his home race. Not the best start to the season for him whatsoever. Cypher within 6/10 of Ryu, Oscar within 4/10 of Cypher, Hecron within 5/10 of Oscar. You wouldn't be too worried though if you are Hecron Jamboy, especially considering the fact he's your driver.
I wouldn't be too worried. He's going for the long distance strategy here. He's staying within half a tenth of the car ahead. I'm sure it'll be fine. He knows what he's doing.
And for Valtteri, Marcus picks up a 3-second time penalty after getting past Jan Kotisa, or I should say staying in front of Jan Kotisa on the final lap. He got a 3-second time penalty for track extensions, and it's a big thing, these track extensions. Track limits aren't actually as harsh in time trial, I felt, this year. Could that lure people into a false sense of security, you think, Bottas?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's very easy actually to get a penalty in the race. I've done a few laps of practice here. Today, actually, it was very easy to get a warning here, and Oscar's already got 1 warning.
Yeah, we have a yellow flag going down the front straight. I'm not sure what that is for, but let's hand it down to roving reporter Jamboy. Have you spotted anything in the first 4 laps?
Yeah, the God Boy. He was the one who spun. I think he spun at the end or the final corner. Managed to keep going though, but he's running in P15. But what I've also noticed...
Yellow flag, and Jan Kotisa has gone around, and also involved in that collision is Marcus. So the 2 were going together for 7th position on lap number 2. They've come together on lap number 4, and they are now both out of the points, and their race is looking very, very dismal indeed. Did you catch that, Bottas? Did anyone catch that?
Damage
no,
for
but
Jan.
Kotisa is, he's missing an entire left side of his wing. Marcus, I think, escaped with absolutely no damage here.
Magnus, he
very
did get on
lucky
the
for
grass
him.
outside of turn 10, so he is a bit back, and his teammate is right on the back side of him, but he isn't going to pass him.
Yes, the 2 kick Sours, who of course have won the Constructors' Championship for so many seasons in a row now. 5th and 6th for the 2 Red Bulls, 1st and 2nd as they were in qualifying. They've led the opening 4 laps as we head on to lap 5. Those skies getting a little bit clearer. Still a dark patch coming down the front straight, but the clouds are getting a little bit brighter to look at, so that is good news for everyone
Oscar
involved.
is on 2 warnings right now, and Zappo is on 1.
Thanks very much, Valtteri, and I'm just going to ask you this. How important is it for Ryu to control the pace and to just control this race in general?
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to break DRS as well in Australia because of the 4 DRS around here, so he probably just wants to preserve his tires, because in F1 25 there's dirty air, so the car behind has to use your tires more, which means that if Zappo stays close enough to Saif that he gets dirty air, but far enough that Saif doesn't overtake him, that means that he will just have better tires than everyone else behind him.
Yeah, a lot of strategy to play with on F1 25, and I suppose that's one of the big changes that has come in. Saif, of course, has DRS as he has done for the last couple of laps on his teammates, but not able to use it to his advantage because, well, it is quite hard to make an overtake into turn 9-10. I keep using the pre-2022 corner numbers, which is strange. But coming down in towards turn 11, both Ryu and Cypher running a little bit wide, and Hecaron sees the move and gets past Oscar into third position.
Hecaron hit Oscar in that move, so I think that's going to go to the stewards if Hecaron doesn't give this back. So I think we'll see now if Hecaron gives it back or if he'll get a penalty, because that was a punt to pass and he gives the position back.
He's going to let him pass, and he's also let him put himself at risk of Magnasheep going around the outside, which he has done, and Magnasheep gets into 5th position. So Hecaron's gamble at trying to get past Oscar has backfired because he let him pass and he let Magnasheep pass inadvertently as well.
We got to remember that Hecaron is on the hard.
Marcus is out of the race. Marcus out of the race. We have our first safety car of the season. Marcus in the wall. Yeah, and I don't know if we'll be able to see that from Jan Cotisa's perspective. No, we won't, because the car has gone. First safety car of the season. I don't think we'll see any pit stops though, Titan.
No, I mean it's too early at the moment. But Jan is coming into the pit stop, but he is at the back, so that might make a difference. Not too sure. It depends if we have any more safety cars.
A very early safety car. Go on.
Yes, I think everyone's gonna pit, if I'm honest. I think everyone's gonna pit because of the tires are probably right now about 20-30%, and I think it's gonna be more smart.
Yeah, in the case of Red Bull though, do you think Cypher probably has to stay out there because he can't back up the field like that would probably without getting a penalty? Double stack.
Yeah, he can. I think they are gonna double stack, but no one can go to the end. Hearts will just break if they try to go to the end on this. The Hearts last about 20 laps. It's 23 laps remaining. 20 laps is already punctured territory, so it will be very hard to go to the end.
Yeah, and as Boss has predicted, everyone's coming into the pit lane.
They are double stacking.
Yeah, they are double stacking. They didn't get the biggest gap in the world, so Cypher will be held up. Of course, it's now McLaren at the tail end of the pit lane, of course, thanks to them winning the real-life Constructors' Championship last season. Red Bull not held up too badly, though, for Cypher, so he might come out in a better position than he would have thought. But Ryu Zappu on the hard compound tyre will remain in the lead of the Australian Grand Prix.
Has Magnus just gained loads of positions from that?
Yeah, he gained Oscar and he gained on Oscar and Scythe.
Yeah,
that's the benefit as well as being at the very end of the pit lane.
There's mixed strategies. Zappu is on the hard, he started on the medium. Magnus is on the mediums, he started on the mediums. Oscar started on the mediums, went to hards. Hecaron started on the hards, went to mediums. Scythe started on mediums, went to hards. I don't know about anyone else. And Scythe has hit XX Godboy in the rear.
Yeah, interesting enough, the God Boy has actually stayed out on 6 lap old hard tyres in 5th position.
Yeah, that's not actually that bad for the strategy here.
Yeah.
The gap between the tyres is actually not that bad on this game, so if he has the pace, he might be able to hold on.
But we'll find out because his pace hasn't been the best this weekend. Cypher, of course, is down to 6th after double stacking in favour of his teammate Ryu Zappu, with Streezy's in 7th. Mr. Business 8th for Sam Rose and Spotcheck running out the top 10. The other driver that didn't pit was Jan Kotisa and Kels, who are both on 5 and 2 lap old, hard and mediums respectively. Quick update from the 24-hour Le Mans. There's 21 hours and 20 minutes to go, and the number 50 Ferrari AF is in 2 Porsche Penske's, the 5 and the 6. In 2nd and in 3rd position. We'll continue to update you on that race as the evening goes on. Let's throw it down to Jamboy. Anything interesting?
It's sort of thrown out the window now because we're under the safety car, but the ERS levels, I saw Zappu just before we came in for the safety car on 8% when his teammate behind was on 90, so maybe Ryu's having to push to stay ahead, but I'm not sure.
I'll throw that to Titan and to Bottas. How important do you think, I'll start with our analysis too, of course, it's, Godboy's got a penalty for yellow flags, and he also hits as well. So that is very unfortunate for him, but I'm going to ask this question to Bottas. How important is ERS management? It's a lot harder in this game.
It is a lot harder in this game, but I don't think it will matter that much because it's still pretty easy to gain ERS. Not that easy as last game. Also, this track for DRS zone, so maybe the only one that's going to struggle with ERS is going to be Zappu, which is the one benefit that you get if you're not P1 is just the free ERS management. And also, Adam is on 2 warnings.
Let's see if we can get a word with Ryu Zappu, who's race and is heading the field into Burn Mile.
He's defense, so I don't think so. Oscar is
Try and get a
unmuted.
word
Is
with,
unmuted.
let's see, we'll try and get a quick
Oscar.
word.
Could be.
Kels, we'll speak with Kels.
Okay, Kels.
What?
Hello.
Oscar, a weird. Oh, let's go, Kels. Then.
No.
Kels, I'm very, very unfortunate what happened on the opening lap. Can you walk us through what happened?
Well, it's really close battles and really underestimated how low the traction was going side by side. And before
Where
I
does this
knew it,
race go for you from now?
well, I've put it back on my lap 1 medium, so there's a slight higher wear advantage for me when it comes to being able to conserve and save my hards for later in the race.
Well, best
Well,
luck
a
in the
lot of people
restart,
have-
Kels, and the safety car is
Yeah,
coming
thank
in
you.
this lap. So Ryu Zappu from Magnasheep from Oscar for the first TRL restart of the new season. And as we can all remember, from all the way back in Season 2 and 3, and even on Season 1, I suppose, back on F123, Ryu Zappu is the restart king. We'll see whether he is able to get a decent advantage here as Virtual Burn Mylander in the real virtual kind of safety car comes into the pit lane. And we are ready to go racing once again on lap 9 of 29 here in Australia. Ryazap will flick it left, then he'll flick it right. We'll find out how late or how early he decides to go. He's going to leave until past the final corner. Magnasheep isn't going to be too called out by this. Ryazapu does go. Magnasheep is called out a little bit by it. Oscar hasn't had the worst restart in the world, but Ryazapu leads Green Flag Racing again on lap 9 of 29 in the Australian Grand Prix. Magnasheep in second, Oscar in third, Hecker on fourth. Cypher F1 is in fifth, but he runs wide going through turn 1, allowing Westreezy to get a good right run around the outside for turn 3. He is, of course, in the alternative strategy, medium compound tyre. He can't get the move done into turn 3, but early restart jitters there. Tiny spun there! Cypher goes off! And those hard tyres not working for him at all, Titan.
No, not
Chaos
at
also
all.
went into the wall. Chaos and XX Godboy had made contact. They both have damage to their wings, I'm pretty sure.
Cypher really, really struggling on the hards, Titan.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the result at all, and the hards are not seem to be as good as they seem to be.
Yeah, we'll find out how his teammate and Oscar, suppose the big drivers on hard compound tyres, at the rest of the front of the field. So Ryazapu has a 7/10 lead, but he has used up a load of his battery. Sam Rose picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit extensions, and Ryazapu running very, very wide going through turn 11. They're getting a bit of grass in his wheel, but he's used 60% of his battery compared to Magnasheep only using around 35% battery.
Yeah, Magnus is always good at ERS management. I've seen that while racing him as a teammate, and also this is also without him getting DRS. So now that DRS is enabled, he's gonna get even more ERS compared to Raizapu.
What is Magnasheep's greatest, I suppose, sort of trait as a racer? What is his best quality?
Tire management, 100% tire management. He always had about 10% better tires than me at the end of stints.
Yeah, we'll find out how Magnasheep is able to balance tyres on F1 25 compared to 24. Ryazapu leads the Australian Grand Prix as he has done from the start so far. But he's got a new challenger in Magnasheep, not his teammate behind him. His teammate's down in 9th position. Oscar in 3rd position with Heckron in 4th. Let's throw it down to Jamboy. Anything to tell us?
Nothing at the minute. I was just going to mention as well the ERS. Oscar is also down. He's used 75% of his battery already.
First real chance for Magnasheep to try and get past Ryazapu. Went from 5 tenths the gap down to 3 tenths, but still too far back. Maybe a chance, a very slim chance for a move going down into turn 11. Not going to get that done. Titan, if you are Magnasheep at the moment, what's running through your head?
I mean, obviously the main goal will probably most likely get ahead of Zaki, but Zaki himself is a really good driver in this league and always has been. But it's going to be a challenge, and you know, maybe there might be a weak spot to try and take a chance.
Magnasheep obviously won't be defending his championship this season. He's running a partial campaign, but he's a great run with DRS coming down the front straight. Might have a chance going into turn 3. Oscar sets the fastest up of the race with a moment in 19.003. But here comes Magnasheep as they hurtle their way down towards turn number 3. Ryazapu leads, and he still leads.
Yeah, but compared to ERS, Magnus has about 50% more ERS at this current moment, so Zapu will be easy pick him in the next straight.
Do you think he's struggling just generally for pace?
I don't think so. I think it's the mediums that Magnus is on that are better right now. That's why he's so much faster.
We'll find out whether Magnasheep is able to make the move, and he's gaining so much speed on Ryazapu to the outside. Easy picking spot, as said. and he takes the lead in the Australian Grand Prix, and the reigning and defending 3-time TRL champion is in first place in the Australian Grand Prix. Ryu Zappu can't do anything about it as Magnusheep has double DRS for those 2 straights. Oscar now in 3rd position with Hecker on 4th, Streezy 5th, and Mr. Business in 6th. Jamboy, opinions on your driver so far in 4th position?
Hecron so far, I think he's running a good race. He's not staying too far away from the car front, but he's staying just ahead of the car behind. Overall,
what about Brad, who's
race.
currently in 12th position, obviously the reigning and defending F2 champion? How happy are you, happy I should say, about his performance as Magnusheep sets the new fastest lap of the race?
I think it's Brad's first. It's Brad's first race in F1 here, so I'm going to give him time to adapt to the conditions and the drivers around him. But
you're not a harsh team boss, you'd say.
No, not at all.
Titan, 12 laps gone, still a long way to go, but your thoughts in the opening third, I suppose, this race?
Yeah, a lot of action, a lot of drama already with spins and contact, shift cars, all that stuff. It's really interesting, and hopefully the action keeps on going to the flag.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, lap 12 of 29, the opening TRL race in F1 25 and the opening race of Season 6. Ryu Zappu lost the lead in the last lap, goes to the outside in this lap to try and regain it, or gets the move done. Magnusheep, nothing really he could do there, and Oscar now trying to get a good run. But I think he's probably a little bit too far back coming into turn 11 to make that move. But Magnusheep had the lead, succeeded a lap later. Season 2 champion Ryu Zappu.
Both making up places into P8.
Yeah, Heckron has gotten his first warning now.
Yeah, go on there, Jamboy.
Scythe is making up positions. He's up into P8 now, ahead of Escuso.
Still needs to make up a second, though, in the Season 1 tireless racing champion Sam Rose, who, of course, is racing a partial season as well for himself. For Mercedes in 7th position, but as Ryu leads, Magnusheep from Oscar from Heckron. Those times getting a little bit darker as Streezy picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But maybe it's just me, or the cloud cover is very light in some places, very dark enough. Oscar very close to the rear of Magnusheep as they head through turn number 4 and 5. And Ryu Zappu has pulled out 8.5 tenths, so his lead is not at risk, you'd think, on this lap. But maybe Magnusheep's second place is at risk, although Oscar hasn't had the best run coming through turn number 6 there, so we'll see if he's able to get the move done. Probably not, though. Titan, strategy-wise, do you think there's another pit stop in this race?
Possibly. I mean, the mediums, they could last the rest, but they won't be in good condition at all compared to the hard tires.
The only 2 people who need to feel tire compounds are actually Keris, who has got triple mediums, Magnus has got double mediums, and Mr. Business has got double mediums as well. And Storm died, brilliant. Okay, Oscar's pretty close to Magnusheep right now, he has 20% more battery as well. Did this internet go out again? Probably.
Mate, probably. Dodgy Irish internet. I mean,
yes, Magnus has his first warning now.
Kells pits again.
It's a weird race so far because it hasn't really opened up in anyone's favour, but Ryu Zappu still does have the lead by 8 tenths of a second from Magnusheep, then from Oscar. Oscar had a better run coming out of turn 6 this lap as he did in the last one. But again, due to DRS, can't get anywhere near him, Valtteri.
Yeah, he was also not burning on that straight, so just look that he allowed Magnus to stay in P2, just not race, because he knows he's going to have better tires later on.
Titan, we're just about at the halfway stage now, and I suppose for Ryu Zappu it's been business as usual for him, really picking up where he left off a couple of seasons ago, getting back to that fine battle of form he was in.
It's definitely back to where he's usually at a lot of times in this league, and he seems pretty comfortable at the moment, and seems to be keeping a decent amount of gap while not letting Magnusheep pass him.
Yeah, Magnusheep within about 4 tenths of the Season 2 champion. Of course, Magnusheep champion in Season 3, 4 and 5.5. Oscar, of course, in third, has never won a TRL title and is the the ever-present bridesmaid, and of course the recipient of the first ever You Tried Your Best award before the season started. Of course, we'll have our post-race awards and relative ceremony after we're done here in about, I'd say, 25 minutes time. Oscar's got a good run once again on Magnasheep, and he's closer than he ever has been. Magnasheep a little bit further back from Rye than he was in the last lap, but they're getting ever closer. Can't get it done just yet, Jamboy, though.
Not yet. Smotch has also made up positions into P9. The hat of Excuse dropping back, but Oscar, I think the move is coming in the coming laps.
Zappa leads the Australian Grand Prix. If you're just joining us from Magnasheep in second, Oscar in third, Hecron, Westreezy, Mr. Business, Samrose, Sypher, F1, Spotcheck, and rounding out the top 10. And what was that for, Jamboy?
Oscar sliding into, he's locked the rears, and Hecron's gained about 2 tenths. He's losing it now. Gained about 2 or 3 tenths in the final corner there, but he locked his rears and nearly spun round.
And Ryu Zappu, for a fraction of a second, had pulled out a second on Magnasheep, but he's lost 4 tenths coming through the first couple of corners here.
Yeah, I think Magnus's tires are dying right now, and also Magnus got a warning in turn 1 to keep the 1 second gap to Zappu, so he's got DRS on his next straight.
Yeah, we'll find out he has to lose about a tenth and a half to actually not get DRS, which would put him at risk of being passed by Oscar. Hecron in 4th as Brad Gibb has gone past Theo for P11. Brad, of course, making his F1 debut. He's alone with Theo and with Jan Kotisa. Would points be decent from this position, Jamboy, for him?
I think so. He didn't have the greatest qualifying of all time, but I've still got faith in him. Anything can bring him points. There's only benefits to that.
Zappu has now pulled out a second lead on Magnasheep. Thankfully, though, Magnasheep with double DRS just about stays within that second range. But there is the chance that he will lose it coming down the front stretch.
I think Magnus will repeat this lap.
We'll find out, yeah. He's got about 13 laps to go. And we'll see what Magnasheep does on 9-lap-old mediums. It does seem like the tyres are worn off. They have, and Magnasheep will pit.
Would you look at that?
Stays out, so Magnasheep going for a 2-stop in this race. The Season 3, 4 and 5.5 champion comes into the pit lane. He gained a lot of spots last time, and he comes into the box once again. We'll focus on his pit stop here as he comes on to the hard compound tire to finish out his race. Will this new set affect him in a good way, Bottas, do you think? Will he be able to make up a load of positions?
Yeah, the undercut is still very powerful in F1. It just depends on if Zappu, Oscar, Sam, Saif, and Adam pit. Because if they don't, then I think they have an actual chance of keeping those positions. But if they decide to pit like 5 laps later, I think Magnus will have about a 4-second gap to them already.
Ryu Zappu, of course, has pulled out a second lead on Oscar now, is completely unperturbed by DRS. Oscar's 6% of his battery left, and now Hecron is closing in very quickly, and this just plays in right into his hands, and indeed into your team's hands, Jamboy. Samrose was past Syph F1.
It does play into our hands, but I think Hecron, to get the best out of this race, he may pit. I'm not sure yet. I'm not on the radio for this race, but I think if he does pit, he's got a good chance of getting some points, especially if I was ahead pit.
Yeah, we'll find out how the undercut works for Magnasheep, who of course was our first example of drivers who pit. Hecron decides to stay out for this lap, but Westreezy makes the decision to pit as well as Mr. Business, so Kickstarter are coordinating their pit stops to happen within a lap of each other. Westreezy and Mr. Business all pit along with Sam Rose, who's on the hard compound tyre, so he's not happy with the white wall tyre at all. He wants them at the end. That's an interesting strategy call.
Yeah, well, he may not have any hards left.
That's true.
Because I know Hecron doesn't.
Titan, just a good, nice Saturday stroll for Rise Up at this point in time.
Yeah, indeed. Currently above 1.5 seconds around there from Oscar, keeping good gap. Still decent pace, and looks to be really handling himself really well up there.
Hecron
Magnus will now be in traffic.
Yeah, we're going to find out whether that's going to impact him quite a bit or maybe not at all. I was focusing on Hecron now, who's within tenths of Oscar. If he's getting close and if he wants to make a move, he's probably got to make it now. Magnasheep goes past Theo, and Brad Gibb loses the place as well. Theo now racing Magnasheep for 7th, but Magnasheep does get the move done. A crucial overtake.
Whoa.
And now Westreezy is going to be behind them.
Right. Hecron pits.
Theo.
Hecron pits.
Hecron's in the pits.
So those medium tires are now gone. Look at the lockup he had as he came in box there, as he goes on to the mediums until the end of the race. So what do our runners on the hard compound tire do now, Ryu? Oh, not Ryu, sorry, Bottas.
I don't know, let's see. Magnus, how much is Magnus gonna gain? Magnus gains 2 seconds on Zappu the last lap. 2 seconds.
He sets the fastest lap as well, 1 minute 18.864, and Ryu Zappu with a small little slide coming out of turn number 4. So maybe those hard compound tires starting to struggle.
And
as
Hecron
Smotchek goes past
behind
Scythe
Tom.
F1.
Yeah.
A weird spot on the track. Brad pits and goes down into 13th position, number 47. Now third.
Scythe gets a 3-second penalty.
That's
6
unfortunate
now.
for him, considering how well his far. And he's right behind Smotchek as well, after losing that position to him. Too far back to make a move into turn 9, 10 though. And he runs a bit wide too. Westrizi and Magnushi battling, and there's a yellow flag. Or was there a yellow flag? There's a green flag.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Something flashed up yellow on my mini-map. I'm not sure what that was, but I'll try to dig into that. And Magnushi within a 5
Oscar pits, Oscar pits.
Yeah, Oscar does pit. Yeah, Oscar comes into the boxes now in 2nd position. So really the impetus is now Ryu Zappa to just come in and pit now, Valtteri.
Yeah, Magnus is gonna have an undercut on Oscar by about 2 seconds, I would imagine.
It'll be a bit, yeah, it'll be tight. It'll be around that, yeah, I would say so. So Magnushi could be in the net lead of this race once he gets past Westrizi, who sets the fastest lap at the Grand Prix.
Yeah. But Westrizi is also on actually
Fresh
newer
tires, yeah.
mediums than Magnus. But the mediums are gonna wear off at the end, as we saw with Zappu and Magnus there.
But do you feel that
tire.
Magnushi has just the outright pace in general as Yankatista sets the fast lap? Do you think Sheep has the genuine pace to get past Westrizi without having to rely on the tires falling off?
I mean, yeah, if Westrizi doesn't get DRS, then absolutely, but it just depends on what Scythe does, what Smotchek does, and what Zappu does, because if they stay out, then maybe Westrizi will also always get DRS, and Magnus cannot overtake him.
We will pass it to Jamboy, who's a TRL race control.
Not really much kicking off, to be honest. Hecron managed to get past a few drivers, can't remember which one, but now he's on the back of Mr. Business, hoping to make a move. Mr. Business low on ERS though. On 8%.
Zappu stays out.
Yeah. The Ryu, can he hold on? I don't think so, but he's got a lot of battery in reserve.
For
And
once.
he's actually going to lap the Godboy, who received a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And the Godboy don't get in the way. Thankfully, he ghosts for Ryu's sake, as he has now gone a lap down, but we'll find out whether Ryu, in which case he'll unlap himself. Around 9 laps to go. Titan thoughts on a pretty eventful opening race of the season.
Good race. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season. If this is what we have in store for us so far. Does it
Yellow flag. We do have a yellow flag. Godboy's out of the race now, and we have a safety car. And Ryu Zappu's saving grace arrives.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Hecron just gained 2.5 seconds on Zappu last lap, so I think he had to react. This gives him a perfect opportunity now to react to this.
And Kels comes into the pits as well, so he's going to be the first of the drivers to come in for a new set of tyres under the safety car period. Ryu, Cypher and Smotchek all benefiting from this safety car. Heaven sent. Heavenly time, Jamboy.
Heavenly time. Indeed. That may be an understatement, right? I don't think he'll lose a position. He might lose 2 or 3 positions to his teammate and Smotchek, but even then he should stay on the podium.
21 hours left in Le Mans, going to 20 hours to go. The 6 Porsche leads the way from the 83 Ferrari and the 50 Ferrari.
Yeah, I don't think the Saubers, I don't think they have any mediums left because they've two.
Yeah, as we suspected and as was glaringly obvious, Ryu Zappu pits, as does his teammate and as does Smotchek.
And Zappu will rejoin P1 as well.
Yeah. And that is just an incredible bit of luck for the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, Westrizi stays out, Magnus stays out, Business stays out, Hecron stays out, Oscar stays out, Sam stays out. Oh no, Sam decides to cut the white line and pit.
That's strange.
Go.
So Westrizi finds himself in 2nd, but does have a time penalty. Magnushi is in 3rd, Mr. Business 4th, Hecker on 5th, but Ryu Zappu, with a bit of insane luck, stays in the lead of the Australian Grand Prix, and he's going to be very happy with that Titan.
Yeah, now both of the Saubers are in major danger because they are on the hards, but I think their hards will be better than Hecron. mediums at the end and West Freeze. So I think Zapu should run away with the victory here pretty easily.
Stranger things have happened in TRL. People have lost races
True.
in these sort of positions.
Is there any Titan to coming up behind and take Zapu out?
Titan built like the boat. Has he appeared in the Twitch chat since Titan?
Sam said he will finish second, and if not, then 15th. That's his last message.
Okay, okay.
No,
15th
but
is closer.
That's been dealt with behind closed doors.
Rest in peace, Titans built like a boat.
Surely one of the Twitch accounts of all time.
I think we've got to put him in the Hall of Fame. Give him like
Yeah.
VIP role.
Yeah. He did the thinkable. I suppose while we are in this little lull period, we won't be probably getting going, I'd say, for another lap. Well, maybe we'll get going this lap. No, I think it's probably too late to call it the safety car now. For Ryu Zapu, pole position. He's led basically every single lap of this race. It's just been the perfect drive, hasn't it, Jambo?
It has been a great drive. He hasn't really... I don't think he has let up the lead apart from when he's pitted. But I
He
think...
lost lead to Magnaship one lap, but apart from that...
Oh, did he?
It's perfect.
My apologies. But he's run a good race, and with that safety car boxing onto the medium compound tyres, looking good for him.
And it will probably be a 6-lap shootout until the end of the Australian Grand Prix. And everyone's going to be brought back together, which of course is going to be very interesting indeed. Sam Rose and of course Kazoo on the soft compound are the first drivers this season to rep the softs in the race. We'll see if they make up a couple of positions. Cypher, Jan Kotisa, Sam Rose and Theo all have time penalties. But track limits have been a big topic of debate so far, Valtteri.
Yeah, they have. I've actually not checked, but I think Magnus is on 2 warnings. Ekron, I think, was on 1 the last time I checked. I can actually go through them now. Yeah, Ekron is on 1. Zapu is on 1. Oscar is on 2. So that's the top. Actually, Tom is on 0. So Zapu has 1, Magnus has 2, Tom has 0, Hekron has 1, Oscar has 2.
Titan, final thoughts. Who's taking it home?
Unless there's a nuclear explosion in the EA headquarters, Zapu's winning.
Yeah, we do get our confirmation. Safety car in this lap. A 6-lap shootout to the end of the Australian Grand Prix. Cypher F1 loses the front wing end plate from going into the back of Smotchek. And that is the danger from the safety car going in so early. And from that spot, there's always going to be an incident or two, and Cypher's going to be incredibly compromised on the restart. So Ryu Zapu, as he did all the way back on lap 9, will start this race on lap 24. And hopefully, for his sake, lead all the way to the end. When will he go? He went in the front straight last time. Will he try to catch out Westreezy? This time, of course, Westreezy's suffering from a time penalty. Magnaship in net second place. But of course, he has to get past Westreezy on track to try and challenge Ryu Zapu for the race win. Ryu Zapu is about to gun the throttle, and we are ready and racing. Final 6 laps of the Australian Grand Prix. And look at Hecron already going alongside Mr. Business, going on down into turn 1. Can't pass until the safety car line. They've gone past it now. Hecron sends it up the inside into turn 1. Gets the move done. They do make contact. Mr. Business forced off the track. And Hecron might be in a bit of trouble for that there, Valtteri.
Yeah, I think he might. He left absolutely no. Tom was on the outside there. Yeah, and he just got fully pushed off the track. Hekron was on the curb, so I think that we go to the stewards room and Hekron might be in trouble.
Jambo, you're a bit biased in this situation, but clean move or even a bit dirty as more front wing end plates go flying off in the back.
Did nothing wrong with
And
it.
Cypher goes all the way into the gravel and in the wall and spinning around.
Oh!
And complete chaos for Cypher, who's now down in last and out of the race.
Yeah, and as Theo gets damage from the Cypher's region. Well.
Red Bull were on for a 1-2 about 20 minutes ago. It's now all gone to nothing. Except for the fact Ryu Zapu is leading the race and has pulled out 7.5 tenths on Westreezy. Running a little bit wide through turn 11, but nothing too bad to curtail his lap. Magnaship in third position has not had a good restart whatsoever. And it seems like the field, at least for the top 3, has opened up.
Yeah, as expected, Sapu is running away with this now. He's already broken DRS. West with the still better mediums is running away from. We see how long that lasts.
Watch overtakes Hekron.
Yes, he does, and Hekron goes down back to 5th position. Oscar is in 6th. Sam Rose made his way up from 10th to 8th and is within about half a tenth of Mr. Business. So if Sam Rose does get a good last couple of laps, he might be on to pass Kickstarter's new recruit, who of course replaced our new analyst, Valtteri Bottas. He hasn't had a bad race though, Mr. Business.
No, he hasn't. He was actually running pretty good in P4 before the accident with Hekron. We'll still see how that goes in the Stewart room probably, but yeah, pretty unfortunate. And also the strategy when the safety car came out.
Sam Rose getting very close to the DRS, thankfully for Mr. Business. He also has the aid of the drag reduction system, and Smolchek on wheel to wheel. Magnusheep holds on, but Smolchek gets the switch back, and Smolchek flies past the 3-time champion. Here comes Hekron to the inside! On the grass! But can't get it done! Up the inside of Magnusheep, even then he can't force his way through, and Hekron got very close to perhaps a race-ending crash for all three of them. Maybe even Oscar if he got unlucky there. Hekron showing signs of desperation here.
Yeah, I think it was a late move by Smolchek to cover off the right side of the track there. I don't think it's going to be worth a penalty, but I think it was pretty dangerous.
Yeah, we'll find out what happens in that battle for the last couple of laps. Magnusheep, of course, on that 9-lap-old hards is obviously going to struggle, and we were thinking he was making a great strategy choice before that safety car came out. It doesn't look like that is going to prevail for him anymore. He's down in 4th position at risk of losing a couple more places. But Ryu Zappu well on the way to winning the opening TRL race of Season 6. It's been inch perfect, Titan, hasn't it?
What was that? Died. It's been very close, and even to the very end, it's still very close all the way through.
Hekron on Magnus, sorry.
Yeah, he goes to the inside, and once again, a very risky move from Hekron. He does get it done without major, and Magnusheep to the inside. This time they both go off the track, and Hekron off this time, not by his own deed, but by Magnusheep's. Here comes Oscar to the outside, and Mr. Business to the inside. Oscar tries to go around the outside, Magnusheep turned around. Magnusheep turned around by his teammate, and his race falls to ashes, Valtteri Bottas.
What did I do?
I'm just asking you for an opinion.
Oh yeah. Business locked his front by when he tried to avoid Hekron, and he went into the back of Magnus. Actually tapped him just a little bit, but it was enough to make the cargo sprint because the F125 handy model is still not inch perfect.
Yeah, it was bound to happen at some stage that we would get an incident between those guys, and probably a couple of reports to come from all of them within the next half an hour, 35 minutes or so once this race finishes. But lap 27 to 29, Ryu Zappu leads it from Westrizi in 2nd, Smolchek in 3rd, with Oscar in 4th, Hekron in 5th position, and of course very, very close to getting in multiple incidents several times in this race. Jan Kotisa picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit extension warnings. Here comes Hekron. Will he be able to get past Oscar this time around, coming in towards turn number 9? He's getting very close, but it does look like he's too far back. Has a small look, but doesn't get the move done.
And Zexu has spun and also has lost his front wing.
Yeah, not good for Kazoo whatsoever in 13th position, and
It's
he's
for
struggling to
safety
get
car,
back
so.
on the track there. I don't think it's too late to probably call for safety cars. We head on to the penultimate lap of the Australian Grand Prix. Ryu Zappu in control. Ryu Zappu back to his good self. Ryu Zappu back to the Ryu Zappu that we know and love. But of course, there's still 11 races left. Plenty of time for his season to fall to pieces. Plenty of time for anyone's season to come to the fore as well. Westrizi has had a fantastic opening race for Racing Bulls, but is at risk of being passed by Smolchek, Oscar in 4th, Hekron in 5th. Magnusheep getting past Theo at least for a point. So at least his race wasn't worth just 0. He gets at least 1 championship point to kickstart his title.
And he's going to overtake Jan Kotisa with the 6-second penalty also. He's within 4 seconds of him.
And Brad Gibb racing Jan Kotisa. Brad Gibb getting the move done. Jan refusing to give up. Now Kazoo won't get a safety car out though. But Brad into 8th and a decent opening performance for
and
him.
Smolchek and Westrizi are side by side.
Yeah, and Smolchek gets past Westrizi easily. But a good opening race for your driver in terms of Brad Gibb, Jamboy.
I think it is a solid race for him. Any points is points welcomed into the team. It may not be our best race at the start of the season. Gets past Sam Rose, but I think we're in for a good chance this season.
And Smotchik running slightly wide, going for turn number 11 there, but nothing to tail him that badly. But we head on to the final lap of the first race of the season. The white flag is shown here in Australia. Ryu Zappu has led us basically all the way through. He's only led one lap.
And Sam forces Janko Tisa onto the gravel.
Yeah, and Samrose might be in a bit of trouble for that, but we are on to the final lap of the race. Ryu Zappu has led every lap bar one. That was when Magnasheep lead around the halfway stage, but it has been an inch-perfect performance from the Season 2 champion who is starting his Season 6 in a brand new Formula 1 game with a bang. Smotchik in second and is looking to finish second for McLaren, with Westrizi in third on track, Oscar fourth, Heckron fifth. Kelsbeans picks up a 3-second time penalty. He is in dead last in his home race. It hasn't up whatsoever this evening.
Yeah. In the battle for P4 it would be interesting as Oscar, Heckron and Business are in it. Mr. Business
Yellow flag, Janko Tisa's out of the race!
Oh,
and it's a big crash! Janko Tisa losing a wheel, or 2 wheels maybe, I didn't quite see it. But he goes out of the race in the final lap. That is extremely unfortunate for him.
For the move.
And Heckron gets past. No retaliation from Oscar, but he will get past him due to time penalties. But Ryu Zappu now coming through the final sector. Now Magnasheep getting past Sam Rose. So Magnasheep on for 4 points this weekend instead of none. But for Ryu Zappu, he is on for a huge 25 points total. And as he comes through the final corner, he starts his Season 6 off with a win. The Mexican Maestro is back. And Ryu Zappu wins the Australian Grand Prix for Red Bull. Wins the first TRL race in F125. Smotchik is second. Westrizi third, but Heckron will get on the podium. Oh, sorry. Oscar podium. Mr. Business fourth, Westrizi fifth, and Heckron sixth. Brad Gibb comes home in seventh in his first race for Ferrari. Magnasheep claws back a couple of points in eighth, with Sam Rose and Theo rounding out the points positions in ninth and 10th, with Kels coming round the final corner in 11th to finish his home race in the last of the classified finishers. But Titan, a fantastic opening to the season for Ryu Zappu.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I couldn't ask for more. It's a perfect weekend for him.
Jamboy, not the best race for Ferrari, but you will take the points.
We'll take the points. Any points is any points, you know? You've got 11 races more to do some work, I
Ryu
think.
Zappu, man. We can't not talk about the Mexican Maestro coming back to win the first race. Spectacular performance. Valtteri Bottas. Ryu Zappu's back, it looks like.
It looks like he is. P1 and by a considerable amount. Obviously it helped that the safety car came out, but even before that he was still leading the race and looked to be dominant.
Let's take a look at your race order then for the first one in F125. Ryu Zappu wins 42 minutes, 37 seconds, just about a couple of thousandths of a second in terms of time. He wins the opening race of seasons. McLaren 2-3 in the podium with Smotchik and Oscar. Mr. Business finishes in 4th for Kick Sauber in his first race for the reigning Constructors Champions with Westrizi, Heckron, Brad Gibb, Magnasheep, Samrose and Theo rounding out our classified finishers and our point scores. Kelsbean was the last classified finisher in 11th. Janko Tisa and Kazoo both finishing the race, or both being classified finishers, but being lap due to DNFs. The outright DNF finishers, Cypher, the Godboy and Marcus. And of course we had a little bit of fun with Bottas racing the opening lap of the Grand Prix. The post-race show is live and uninterrupted. It will be next, but we'll take a break for just a minute or two. TRL to get a 5% discount on setups, and 5 to 10% of the costs will go towards the league itself. That's streamlined with code TRL for 5% off on all F125 setups. Titan, Jamboy and Bottas with me for the next couple of minutes, but let's get our post-race interviews started. We'll get going with our race winner, Ryu Zappu.
Oh my word.
Are you back, Ryu?
I really hope so.
I mean, just a fantastic performance from start to finish, really. In qualifying was really close. I think if you take a look at it on a level that we saw, but the race just fantastic from start to finish. You led every lap bar one. How would you rate that performance out of 10? Because it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's up there for sure on my top races. I honestly wasn't expecting that. Maybe fighting for the podium, but winning like that. I mean, obviously I got a bit lucky with that last safety car, but I was planning to go the whole way anyway on those hards.
Do you think you
But,
would? Do you think you would have had the
man.
pace to go the whole way though, with the field rapidly closing up and you?
I think with Strizy was only catching me up by like 8/10, 9/10 a lap. And it was like 10 laps to go at the time, maybe 11, and it wouldn't have been enough because he was like 16 seconds behind.
Looking forward to China next week. How do you feel about that track?
Not the biggest fan of China, but I'll see what I can do for
As a
sure.
country, or as a country, or as a track?
The track.
Just to avoid any political debate. Look, congratulations on an absolutely stupendous win to open up your account for the season, and leading the championship for the first time in a long time, for the first time since the last race of season 2.
Yep. Oh man, it's good to be back.
Congratulations, Ryan. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
We will speak with Kelsbane.
Bah.
Hello.
Kels, poor race for you, finishing last out of the classified finishers. But look, not really much you could do with everything that went your way today.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really control other drivers' behaviours. If they want to sideswipe, they're going to do it. I can't really control what they do, so I just had to make the most of my race. Try and claw back a bit.
How are you feeling pace-wise coming into China next week?
Well, with the tyre wear, especially on controller, it's going to be difficult, but I'll practice and try and make the most of what I can do, and hopefully get points for the team that weekend.
We were all hoping that you would have a great opening home race. That wasn't what ended up happening, but we wish you the very best for China next week, Kels.
Thank you.
Now we'll talk of Oscar. Oscar Chukura, are you there?
Hi, Storm.
Weird sort of a race because we never really knew we gonna get up in the end. You ended up finishing, which was a pretty decent result by all things considered. But do you think there was a little bit more on the table for you?
So I say I could have at least had better qualifying because when I was on my out lap, I saw a big ass fly mosquito, I don't know, and
Mhm.
it just didn't allow my vision, and I just went right into the wall. So yeah, I broke my wing, and unfortunately we had to start P5. This race start was pretty good. Got an overtake on Jan Kotisa, then overtook Hackeran. From there on, we just carried on. Of course, very good recovery from my teammate Adam, who got taken out into turn 1, fell down all the way to like P12, P30, and finishing P2 is very good for him.
And of course, you're all in the Constructors' Championship now, but the big question is, will you be with us next week in China?
Unfortunately, no, as I'm traveling actually tomorrow to Poland, and
Oh, that's good.
I'm probably not gonna. I will check the calendar, and I'm probably not gonna come back at least until Spa Grand Prix, which is on August 16th. But yeah, at least we're leading the Constructor Championship for now.
At least you had a bit of influence before you went off
We
to
have
Poland, and
something
we
called
wish you all the
papaya
very
rules,
best.
but I'm gonna say one thing, and
Yep.
I don't want people to get offended, but there's a certain drivers and an incident which is gonna get investigated so much because there was an I actually quite laughed, but I managed to do like a true goals Chukura by overtaking Anthony in the chicane and then just overtaking Magnus around the outside. And all of a sudden I think we were like 4 wide into that corner. I'm happy that I escaped unfazed though, and just we took home the 2-3. Very good point from McLaren. Just carry on. Ryu Zapu, it is just Ryu Zapu. What do you expect? Give him a normal game, and he will just show that he is good, like really good.
Yeah, well, look, Oscar, have a wonderful summer.
Thank you
All the
so
very best,
much.
and we'll see you back in August. We're gonna miss you, that's for sure.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, see you soon, TRL.
One of the big faces at TRL is going on holiday now. We'll speak to Tom Gray.
Hello.
I feel very sorry for what happened with the night machine, but there was nothing you could do from what I heard.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate one. Of course, I'm sorry to Magnus because that was totally my fault. It's just I went for the move and then it wasn't on. The gap was closing. I broke, and it was such a slight tap. But with this game predicted enough to turn him round, and yeah.
And you both were having a fantastic race up to that point, but there is potential with this lineup.
Yeah, I mean, we were on for like a 2-3. It looked like, of course, behind Ryan, and that safety car kind of messed up a little bit because we were on the hard tire we had to go on to. We had no mediums left. But yeah, I mean, Magnus, he's a great guy, and I think had a good first race. So we'll see what we can do from here.
Looking towards China next week, how do you feel?
Not great. It's probably one of my worst tracks, I'd say. But and tire wear is a mess around there, so we'll just have to see how it is.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Tom. Commiserations on what ended up happening at the end of the race. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Get a word with Hackeron. Is he there? Probably
Yeah,
not.
hello.
Oh, there he is, yeah. Look, a couple of incidents probably marred the end of that race for you, but do you think there's pace? Do you think there's genuine pace there for you?
Yeah, there is pace. I just gotta practice more. I haven't really been F1 that much. I broke my computer, so F1 without a
Your
week.
mother works that high.
And yeah, if I'm just gonna practice for China and just hope for the best next weekend because this weekend is just to forget about.
Just looking forward to China. How are you feeling tire wear wise? Because obviously there was a point raised by who was it? By Ryu.
I mean, tire wear wise, I mean, it was okay. I mean, my whole strategy got messed up. I mean, there was a late safety car, which I already pitted for new mediums to 3 laps before, and started on the hards, and everything just didn't work out today for us.
Well, the very best of luck next weekend.